Okay, well, I'm joined here with Ian Austin, current Dudley North MP for the Labour Party. Well, let's start with, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good. It's good to see you. I remember we did this a couple of years ago, so
Yeah,
great to be doing it again.
a few more grey hairs this time for myself, not you, of course.
I wonder what you were saying. Bit worried.
Anyway, should we get straight into
Yeah.
the issues at hand? It's
Sure.
well, how will you ensure that youth issues will be represented correctly in Dudley North?
Well, I spent the last 12 years saying that we need to make education and skills Dudley's number one priority to give local young people a good education and a great start in life. I've worked really hard to improve facilities at local schools, to work with the college on the brilliant new buildings they've got there. I'm now campaigning for a new £30 million university campus, University Centre Dudley, which will provide high-level apprenticeships and degree-level qualifications. Youth unemployment, long-term youth unemployment in the Black Country is twice the national average. And so the number one thing for me is, how do we open up opportunities for young people, drive up educational standards, attract new jobs and new industries to the area, and enable more young people to get apprenticeships.
Wonderful. What will you do to improve youth participation in politics in the next Parliament?
Well, I've worked really hard to encourage local young people to become more involved in politics. I think it's down to politicians to earn young people's trust and confidence. You can't blame young people for not being interested. The fault for that lies with politicians who are not sort of not engaging people properly, not talking about the issues young people are interested in, not listening to them and responding to the concerns they've got. So, I spend loads of my time at Dudley College talking to young people there. I've organised lots of trips to Parliament for local young people from schools and the college. We've given hundreds of young people, I think, of local young people, the opportunity to come in and work with us and to find out what goes on, in our office here. I think that the voting age should be reduced to 16. I think if you're old enough to get married, to join the armed forces, to get a job, to pay taxes, you ought to be you're old enough to vote. So I think on all these issues, I've tried to listen to young people, to hear what their concerns are, and to and to respond to that. And I think that I think young people have had a raw deal, if I'm honest. I mean, I think you look at tuition fees, £9,000 a year, young people coming out of university, £50,000 worth of debt, long-term youth unemployment here in the Black Country, twice the national average, the EMA being abolished. I mean, these I think these issues are a scandal. I mean, it's no surprise to me that young people don't have much confidence in the political process. But I think the number one thing you've got to say to young people is this: if you're angry about things, you've got to vote. You've got to get involved. You've got to have your voice heard. You've got to make people listen to you. If you're angry about things, vote for change, right? Tell politicians what you want them to do for you. Get involved. Make sure you vote.
Wonderful. You did touch on youth unemployment. So Dudley has a real youth unemployment problem.
Yeah.
What are you going to do differently, not only to make sure jobs are created, but they keep them in the area?
Well, I think the number one issue is education skills. That's how we're going to attract in the modern economy, where the jobs you get and the industries you attract to an area depend on the skills you've got and the knowledge you've got. We've got to make sure that young people. Look, I think young people in the Black Country are as good as anybody from anywhere, but we've got to make sure they get the best possible education and the best possible level of skills. And that's what the new college buildings in Dudley that I've worked so hard to support are all about. So that's about new technical qualifications, cutting edge new industries. That's the sort of thing I think we've got to. Those are the sorts of skills we've got to equip people in this area with. And if we do that, we can attract the new industries and new jobs of the future. And for me, that's the number one thing for the Black Country. So I keep saying educational skills are the number one priority.
Wonderful. And before we let you escape,
Yeah.
Why should the young people, and let alone them, everybody, vote for you in this upcoming election?
Well, because I think in the end, there's no one who's going to listen to young people in Dudley more than I do and work harder than I do to open up opportunity for them in the future. When I look around, I can point to facilities at schools that, I've helped get the funding for. Nobody worked harder than me to bring the new college buildings to Dudley, which made a massive difference to the area and are enabling local young people to get more qualifications and better opportunities for the future than ever before. And no one's going to work harder than I do to bring the new higher level apprenticeships and skills centre, University Centre Dudley, to this town. I've been talking about that for years. I'm really pleased that it's now on the agenda for everybody. I'm going to work really hard to drive that forward. In the end, look, I believe in young people from this area. I grew up here. I had a good start in life here, and I want the same thing for other young people today. And for me, as I keep saying, education skills are the number one priority, and that's because nobody's going to work as hard as I do to open up opportunities for young people in Dudley.
Fantastic. Thank you for your time and good luck.
Thank you very much.